result.
Well, how dovish is dovish at the ECB these days? Does it mean they're going to do anything, or are they just going to talk about it?
Well, this is it. That's the interesting question, because last Monday, Draghi came out with some very dovish commentary, and the markets immediately assumed that, oh, he's going to announce another LTRO. But, that's not as easy as it seems, because the LTRO was, of course, extra funds extra loans made available to banks a couple of years ago. And what's been happening recently is, of course, the stronger banks have been paying back their LTRO loans, just the weaker ones holding on to them. So it's quite possible that even if he announced another LTRO soon over the next couple of months, there may not be that demand. So again, that's not a very straightforward proposition. The other thing, of course, he could announce a rate cut. But again, you could argue that that may not have much of an impact. And because Eurodollar right now is being dominated by US-centric events, I would argue that there is really no point in announcing a rate cut today, because he would be swimming against the tide of dollar weakness, and his key card, I think, would be played incorrectly. So I think he's just going to use the dovish rhetoric, and I think he's just going to have to hope that US lawmakers come to a tangible decision about US fiscal policy, and the dollar sees at some point soon a relief rally.
Okay, hello and welcome in from Sunnyvale, California. My name is Mark Vierra, and I'm just going to go over some of the charts in my log and share a little bit of my basic analysis. We're 0.5% up for the month and down flat for the week. And let's close that. On the monthly, just real quick, we have a confirmed closed up thrust candle for the month, and I'm going to file that back in here. That is a sign of weakness. Okay. And on the weekly chart, let's see if this one, the up thrust for that last week and this week we closed higher up than halfway, flat. It's not a strong candle, but it's showing a range here, and I think we're going to be ending up in another tight range for this week until, of course, the fundamentals in Washington work themselves out. Looking at the daily chart, moving averages here, retracement from the low to the high, we're 50% retracement is a key technical level for Fibonacci retracement traders, and that puts us right above the, you could say we bounced off of this 50-day moving average. And another thing to note on the daily charts is this channel, and I'm drawing this in here as kind of a pivot area. Above this is bullish. I think we're going to see some strength entering into the market initially, and I'm looking at let's check out some. What we have on the chart pattern is a tweezer. That's also known as piercing pattern, where it's right on top of the symmetrical triangle range here, and finding support off of that with this bottoming tail. Testing for support in the market, trying to find a bottom. I'm also looking at the potential for some more zigzag to end up around in this area here as another right, could be a right shoulder developing, and that may be what the monthly topping tail is telling us. So I wouldn't expect to find weakness right away in the market. I think that's going to be a little bit down the road. Of course, you have fundamentals in Washington that can always trump all of this. But as far as what I'm seeing in the psychology of the market and volume somewhat confirming it, not a lot of volume. I have this white dash going back to some other climax areas. But some significant pickup of volume here is telling me of institutional interest, and of course, if the institutions are interested, they are probably buying into that fear. That's the way it works. And just going to wrap this up. Now I'm make no recommendations to buy. This is just what I'm doing. I'm sharing my thoughts. And these triangles here, this is where I've sold into the euro strength. And these two down here is what I would look to more or less get out with very little profit. Just want to build up a position up here. I think the buck 36.50 will be the next threshold to, and hopefully I'll be able to get rid of these two here in order to potentially, if the euro is going to strengthen, and I will be selling into that. That's just what I'm doing. And of course, you know where to find me. Mi Vario. This is HotStockMarket.com, and you can see my trading log or vote in the poll, and lots of good stuff to find in there. And I will see you on the boards.